Welcome to this week's recap. Week 5 for my Tough Mudder Infinity. I'm Greg Roberts with Endurance OCR. And this week was a pretty good week. The first week after my rest week. Talked a little bit about that in last week's video because I had a late video that I was making. So please, by all means, check that video out if you want to see how the first run after rest went. The rest of them were pretty similar, and when I was doing my running, I actually increased the intensity a little bit this week. I had a whole lot ready to go where I was going to be talking about heart rate training. A couple of questions I had about it that I've got some concerns. I don't know if concerns is the right way, but I was going to have this whole thing planned, and instead, a couple of things came up in the last few days, and then I woke up today, and it was a fantastic day outside, and I actually got to do my first run outside. So I am going to pivot, and I've got a little bit of a different approach for this video. So for this video, there's going to be two parts. I have never asked people to share my videos before, but this one is different, and I'll get into that in a second. Please send this out to anybody and everybody that you know. I am doing the Tough Mudder Infinity at the end of August. However, in doing so, I was talking to a few of my friends, and we're actually going to be doing a Tough Mudder Classic outside of St. Louis, Missouri in the end of April. A couple of people that I know from my industry decided that it would be fun to get a group together, and I'm really excited for it. The most exciting part of it is we were able to find a charity near the event. One of the guys who's outside of St. Louis actually knows one of the people who started the charity. It's called Battle Buddy 3 Gun. We're doing the Tough Mudder in St. Louis, Missouri, outside of St. Louis, Missouri at the end of April. And we are doing it to raise money for Battle Buddy 3 Gun. It's an amazing charity. It's a 501c3 charity. Jeff Combs and Jack Smith are the two that have started and run it, and they're both ex-Marines. What this charity does is it helps people, veterans specifically with disabilities, get out and compete. They've really done a good job of creating an amazing event for disabled veterans to be able to come out, do some shooting drills, do a competition, and Jeff and Jack have done a fantastic job. So please help me support this. If you go to enduranceocr.com, right there on the front page, big button, it says donate to Battle Buddy 3 Gun. It's right in the middle of the page. You cannot miss it. Please go to enduranceocr.com, click that button. It'll take you to a GoFundMe page. There'll be a little bit more information about Battle Buddy 3 Gun. You can Google them. You can go to their website. I think I'll put all the websites in the description below. But please get this out to everybody. We're trying to help put on as many events and really fund as many events as we possibly can for Battle Buddy 3 Gun. It's an amazing thing. Again, they take disabled veterans, get them into situations that there really wasn't an opportunity for them to do before, and they can go out there, compete in some shooting competitions, do some shooting drills, and it really is an amazing thing that Jeff and Jack have done. So please, again, go to www.enduranceocr.com, and there's a big GoFundMe button right in the middle of the page. It says donate to Battle Buddy 3 Gun. So that's the most important part about this video. That's what I wanted to get out there. Again, if you are here because I'm asking anybody and everybody to share this video to get more awareness for the Battle Buddy 3 Gun, you can stop now, and I would be perfectly happy with that. If you want to listen to the other half of the video, which is about my run today, by all means, stick around. So, like I said, I did do a long run today. The weather was finally nice enough outside. I'm just outside of Chicago, so it was finally nice enough that I could go out and get my run in outside. I thought it would actually be a little bit harder. I thought I'd be going a little bit slower than I did when I do my long runs on the treadmills. On the treadmills, I've got it, 6 miles per hour, so 10-minute miles. And that's that. I cruise, and it's not too difficult. I feel good. At the end of it, my legs are definitely tired. Outside, you're running on, the streets around me. Some of them aren't the best, and some of them are at a bit of an angle. And you're running on uneven ground, you're hitting the wind, I've got hills, and I was expecting to struggle to keep at that 10-minute pace. So I just started running, kept my natural rhythm, natural pace. I wasn't pushing it by any means. And I was actually very surprised. I was able to hold right around a just over a 9-minute pace. I ended up doing a half marathon again. I do run by, it was all on paved paths or the street. And in one of those paved paths, I do run by a pull-up bar 3 times is what I ended up going by, that pull-up bar. So I stopped there and I did 10 pull-ups 3 times. And then all that considered, so with the half marathon and 10 pull-ups 3 times, I was done in just over 2 hours. So it was, again, I felt pretty good. A few things that I really was surprised by, though, was that I would be running and I'd be looking at my watch. I strapped on my hydration, so I had the water. And I'd look at my watch to be able to check out my pace. And I found it difficult to slow down. I would check my pace and my watch would say 9:04, 9:02, and I'd say, that's too fast. I got to slow down. And I would slow down, and it almost felt more awkward and cumbersome to go slow than at the natural pace. So I was worried at the end of it. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I still don't know exactly how I'm going to feel tomorrow because sometimes you get that delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS. So we'll see if that comes in. But again, I got my half marathon in today. Felt really good at the end of it. Not really good at the end of it, but I felt pretty good at the end of it. I did run into a little discomfort while I was running. It was in my IT bands. If you run and you notice your hips are starting to hurt a little bit, that's your IT band. So I noticed a little discomfort in them, but there's a big difference. And I talk a lot about listening to your body, and there's a big difference between discomfort and being uncomfortable and pain. And this was not pain. I was fine to push through it. If it were pain, I would have stopped and walked, but it was discomfort, and I was able to kind of push through that. And then, I noticed when I started pushing through that, I started running with a little bit higher knees to try and stretch it out. That forced me to pick up the pace a little bit, but it also did kind of stretch that out a little bit. I've seen people where they say if you start to notice that on a long run, stop and do some leg swings or do some, as crazy as it sounds, in the middle of a run, the last thing you're going to want to do is an air squat, but they say stop, do 5 to 10 air squats, and it makes you feel better. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm sure once I'm getting to the 18 and the 20-mile runs, I'll have some stops, and I will do at the very least some leg swings. And if I can muster it, I'll do some squats. But that's this week's video, right? I felt pretty good, like I said. One of the things that was interesting that I did notice is that on the treadmill, I can just hit that button and it either pushes the speed up or it pushes the speed down, and I can be set at 10-minute miles, or if I want to do 9-minute miles, whatever it is. When I'm outside, I need to learn better what the pace feels like, because today I was able to be okay. At the end of it, it was fine, and I finished it. That's 2 hours. The Tough Mudder Infinity is going to be 10 hours. So if I were to expect to hold a pace for the first 2 to 3 hours and I went too quick, that's where I think I could have some issues, and that's where I think I can make a mistake. So I want to make sure that I'm learning how to slow that down, and next week when I'm doing my run, hopefully it's nice enough to still be outside. I am going to try and really focus on keeping it at that 10-minute pace. I'm going to keep a much closer eye on my watch. I'm going to really try to slow down to be at that 10-minute pace, just so I could see what it feels like. So that is this week's video. Again, Greg Roberts with Endurance OCR. Check us out, www.enduranceocr.com. Again, please go there and follow the button to the GoFundMe page. Battle Buddy 3 Gun is amazing. The events that they put on are fantastic, and what they're doing for these disabled veterans is amazing. And so I'm asking everybody to please, again, get this out to anybody and everybody, and let's get as much money raised for Battle Buddy 3 Gun as we possibly can. Thank you.